Judy and Dennis, I cannot tell you how honored I was when you asked me, I think it was last year, if I would accept this award. And I cannot tell you how honored I am to be standing right here tonight, receiving a Making a Difference award. But I think you get that, given how my eyes are sparkling because of the tears that are in them. Excuse me. No, they're tears. I don't need to cover that up. Making a difference. That's a phrase I associate with philanthropists and volunteers who give of their money and free time to help people and communities achieve their dreams, fulfill their potential. I never thought it would apply to me, a guy who just writes about what he sees. I saw myself in James Byrd, the black man who was murdered by white supremacists on June 7th, 1998, a murder that shocked the nation. Of course, I saw myself in Matthew Shepard, whose murder on October 12th, 1998, shocked the nation. As an openly gay man and obviously an African American man, I bring my entire self to my writing. And in doing so, I try my best to humanize my two identities for those who don't know or don't understand either, by giving sometimes deeply personal takes on the separate but concurrent national conversations on race and LGBT issues. The goals for each are the same: compassion, empathy, understanding, civility. We are a better nation when we understand that an epidemic that wiped out a generation of gay men is a national emergency, that the murder of a young man on a lonely stretch of prairie is a hate crime that demands justice, that the television characters who make us laugh and think are also shining a light on the unfamiliar and unknown, that the journey of a transgender man or transgender woman is more than the insanity of these bathroom bills, that so-called religious freedom laws are just another way to disrespect and discriminate against same-sex married couples and other lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. We are a better nation when our compassion and empathy opens our hearts to understand why unheralded but fed-up people put their lives on the line to sue for their basic civil rights or protest those that are violated. We're a better nation when we can look in the eye that family member or coworker or neighbor who doesn't quite get it and argue for ourselves and our humanity, and do so with the civility that brings people along, that brings people in, not shut them down or shut them out. That's what I strive to do with every column and every television appearance. That it is my job as a journalist to say exactly what I think is an enormous privilege and responsibility, and I feel duty-bound to speak the truth and to correct the record when I get it wrong. One of the reasons folks don't trust the press, I think, is because we in the media rarely acknowledge our mistakes or bother to correct them. It also doesn't help that we, as news consumers, only gravitate to media or sources that reinforce our point of view. We must break that habit, and by we, I mean all Americans. We have to break out of our ideological and partisan silos to hear what those who don't share our worldview are saying. And we must do this to not only find the weaknesses in their argument, but to also find those areas of agreement and foster greater understanding and advancement. This is how we will succeed against so-called religious freedom laws, in securing criminal justice reform, in moving on comprehensive immigration reform, and yes, in doing everything possible to ensure that the next president of the United States is someone who will appoint justices to the Supreme Court who will protect everything that's been gained. So, Matthew Shepard Foundation, Judy and Dennis Shepard, And I want to throw in Joe Salmonese, who the three of you together worked so very hard to get the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd Hate Crimes Prevention Act not only through the Congress, passed through the Congress, but signed into law by President Obama. Thank you so much for that. And thank you very much, really, Judy, Dennis, thank you so much for this award. It is just the encouragement I need to keep being my authentic self, to keep telling our stories, to keep making a difference. Thank you.